My religion consists of a humble admiration of the illimitable superior spirit who reveals himself in the slight details we are able to perceive with our frail and feeble minds. Albert Einstein by Marty Leeds. Copyright 2013 Marty Leeds. Presented with author's permission. Greetings again, world mystery readers. My name is Marty Leeds and this is the fourth article in a series 1 I'm writing regarding the subjects of sacred geometry, sacred number and gematria. I am the author of 3 books, Pi, The Great Work, and Pi the English Alphabet Volume 1, with the recently published Pi the English Alphabet Volume 2 released this month. My books are available on Amazon.com and my website is www.martleeds33.com. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/martleeds33, with an extensive video series detailing a wide variety of subjects and their relationship to mathematics, numerology and gematria. I am also a teacher at the School of the Holy Science, www.schooloftheholyscience.org, along with some fantastic thinkers and researchers such as Santos Bonacci, Johan Oldenkamp, Bill Donahue, Jason Verbelli and a growing list of others. I will also be a featured speaker at this year's Free Your Mind conference in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is guaranteed to be an extremely eye and mind-opening conference with many great speakers scheduled. For info or advanced tickets, please visit http://freeyourmindconference.com. Also, for those interested, I am having a gematria calculator Android phone app made that will help aid those who are interested in this subject to check their math and pursue their studies of numbers even further. It is a handy tool to have and one that I will be eventually updating with an entire number catalog to explore the correlations, properties and characteristics of numbers. The phone app should be uploaded to the Google Play Store by the end of next week. Just type in Pi English Gematria and you should find it. In this article we will be exploring the magic square of the sun and its relationship to the number 111. We will be relying pretty heavily on the cipher for the English alphabet, so taking the time to learn it and intuit it is most advised. Links to the 3 previous articles that deal with this cipher are here. http://blog.worldmysteries.com /authors Marty Leeds. I urge the reader to investigate and explore this cipher, for it has many occulted or hidden treasures just waiting to be discovered. I have spent the majority of my time in the last year or so unearthing all the ways in which this linguistic and numerical artifact can be utilized, and there is so much more to find. The reader should know, there are many different ways in which we may find the correspondence for the letters to numbers for the English alphabet. Dice, the chromatic music scale and the Ouija board can all be utilized to build the English cipher, so please note that this cipher is not an arbitrary construction, and indeed has a rich and deep historical context. Below is a very abridged explanation of this cryptogram. The cipher splitting the 26 letters of the English alphabet in half, establishing 13 letters per side: A, M, left side N, Z, right side, allows us to form symmetry with our alphabet. Using the motif of the 7 days of creation in Genesis, the 6 days of work with God resting on the 7th, or Sabbath, see Genesis chapters 1 to 23, Holy Bible, King James Edition, we can assign numbers to the letters of the alphabet A1, B2, C3, D4, E5, F6, G7 by resting on the G and the 7th letter. We find a direct correlation to the Freemasonic symbol of the compass and square. Walking back down to 1 from the G7, we can assign numbers to the remaining letters of the left side of our alphabet: H6, I5, J4, K3, L2, M1. To maintain our symmetry, or to create balance within our alphabet, we can apply his entire philosophy to the right side of our alphabet, N, Z. Utilizing the symbol of the 7-branched Jewish menorah, we can highlight our non-prime numbers, a prime number being a number divisible by 1 and itself, with those non-primes being 1, 4 and 6, and 6, 4, 1, on both sides of our alphabet, with a central pillar resting on our 7, a Sabbath. Adding our non-primes together, we find the number 2, 2, 1, 4, 6, 6, 4, 1, 2, 2. 22 divided by our central pillar of 7 equals 3.142, a whole number approximation of the transcendental ratio pi. Combining both sides of our alphabet together, 22/7 pi and 22/7 pi, or pi begotten by 7 and pi begotten by 7, forms what is known as the Tetragrammaton, or the Holy Name of God, also known as Yahweh, or Jehovah. In the Hebrew gematria, the Tetragrammaton sum to 26. Using our cipher we can find the numerical equivalents for the 2 names of God found in the Holy Bible, Lord and God. Notice both Lord and God sum to 13, recognized by the 13 letters on each half of our alphabet. Combining the two names into Lord God, we find the number 26, recognized in the Hebraic tetragrammaton as well as in the number of letters in the English alphabet. Playing Sudoku with a universe. Since we are dealing with magic squares in this article, the first question that probably arises is, what in the world are magic squares? Magic squares are squares that contain particular numbers arranged in equal rows and columns such that the sum of each row and column and sometimes diagonal are the same. The construction of magic squares must be done with precision since the misplacement of any single number can throw the entire square off. An example of a very simple 3 by 3 square, equaling 15, is shown below. The origin of magic squares is unknown. The earliest known magic squares appeared in China but are prevalent in Persia, India, Arabia, Europe, and most assuredly have survived from prehistory. Magic squares have adorned chapels and have been revered by mystics, philosophers and numerologists for quite some time. The alchemists Albrecht Dürer and Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa both wrote about magic squares and their importance within hermetic and alchemical studies. To the ancients, number was a powerful force and one that could resolve all anomalies and paradoxes of existence. There can be no doubt that the world is constructed using the principles, attributes and characteristics of number. A short stroll in the woods can confirm this simple observation: the number of petals on a flower, the veins in a leaf, the roots and branches of a tree, the swirling, blooming Fibonacci sequence beheld in the head of a flower and the rising and setting of the sun, all brought to us by, and can be understood with, the magic, austerity, power and beauty of number. You want the truth? Ask numbers. They don't lie. The interplay and interweaving of numbers is how the universe constructed itself. The divine intelligence within nature, our creator, is being creative with creation and is using the language of number to do its handiwork. The key point that must be reiterated here is that creativity and creation go hand in hand and etymologically are derived from the same word create, Latin meaning to make, bring forth, produce, beget. Magic squares are the mystic's way of passing on this universal truth. Creativity is at the heart of creation. If you want to get the core of understanding our universe, doing so without a creative eye and an artistic mind will only find yourself painted into the corner of a round house. The famously popular Sudoku, prevalent in many newspapers and played by millions of people worldwide, without a doubt, was derived from this ancient mathematical game. Much like playing Sudoku, participating in the construction or deconstruction of magic squares is an act that aligns you with the playful, poetic and creative force at work within nature. Put simply, working with number allows you to play Sudoku with the universe. The skeptics might say, well, you're just playing with number, and my response is, yeah, well, God played with number. You're right. I am playing with number and am having a really good time doing it. Randall Carlson 666. And the magic square of the sun. The magic square of the sun is probably the most famous of all magic squares. Adding the numbers in each of the columns in the square will sum 111, with all 6 rows summing to the beastly number 666. The number 666 is most famously noted in St. John's Revelation in the verse 13-18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of man, and his number is 666. We are not going to be investigating the number 666 in this article too heavily. I go over this number extensively in all of my books, mentioned it in the article on Metatron's cube and the Holy 108, as well as in the article on the numerology of the holy name of Jesus Christ. What must be noted here is that the number 666 is a number that directly references the sun, or, if you will, the beast that rises in the east. The thing we wish to focus on here is the use of decimal parity in the magic square of the sun. Decimal parity is the numerological art that breaks any number down to its digital root, or the numbers 1 to 9. By adding the individual digits within any number we can establish its decimal parity equivalent. Example, the number 432 using decimal parity reduces down to 94329, therefore 432 greater than 9. This methodology allows us to find our beastly number 666 in the numbers 1 to 9, separating these 9 digits into 3, reflective of the all-powerful Trinitarian concept. Using our cipher, this whole phenomenon is found expertly encoded within the name of the sun god, Jesus. The magic square of the Sun utilizes the numbers 1 to 36, when added together equals 616, The numbers 1 to 36 are also used in the very popular game of roulette. How many people visit Las Vegas every day, place their bets and have no idea that the game they are betting on is a very cleverly veiled and cryptically encoded homage to that bright burning sphere in our sky. The number 36 resonates with the 360 degrees of a circle, 36 being nothing more than a multiple of 10. In numerology, the base number is the important factor, with the 0 being nothing more than the arbiter of scales, defining the number's order of magnitude. The difference between a number like 432, 4320, 43,200 and 432,000 is just at what scale we witness and experience the phenomenon of the number 432. The difference between the emergence of a harmonious triangle in cymatics 432 Hz to precessional age is 4,320 years, the ratio of the Great Pyramid of Giza to the Earth 143,200, and the radius of the Sun 432,000 miles is all where you place the holiness and wholeness of the zero. This important observation on the nature of numbers is one shared by cultures too numerous to name, and is a numerological key that helps one unlock the door to understanding universal construction. Breaking down the magic square of the Sun, using decimal parity, finds us another magic square occulted, or hidden beneath the surface. As shown below, we see that instead of each row summing to 111, each column now sums to 30, with all 6 rows summing to 180. The number 30 that is found in each row of our decimal parity breakdown is an important number for many reasons, but we will highlight the one most pertinent to our investigation. Jesus Christ, our Son of God, went missing for 18 years in the Bible and started his ministry at age 30. This means that Jesus went missing at age 12, thus giving us two key numbers to work with: 12 and 30. The zodiac has 12 constellations, with each of those constellations taking up 30 degrees of arc on the zodiacal wheel. The zodiac is the path that the Sun moves through as it courses through our sky in our yearly and precessional cycles. The fact that this key number 30, the number that allows us to map the path of the Sun, is found with a magic square of the Sun is certainly not a coincidence. These 630s make 180 degrees. 180 degrees is, of course, a semicircle, and this semicircle actually references the Sun as it rises or sets on the horizon. The horizon actually creates the diameter needed to find the circumference, and hence pi, of our Sun. 180 degrees is also the number of degrees within all triangles, a direct numerical reference once again to the power of the Trinity. The fact that both of these numbers are so artfully and cleverly encoded in this magic square shows the craftiness of our ancestors. The simple genius in the construction of the magic square of the Sun is truly unparalleled. We have come to understand the importance of the numbers 30, 666 and 180 within our magic square of the Sun, but what is going on with the 111 iron plate with Arabic numbers arranged in a 6x6 grid to form a magic square adding up to 111 horizontally, vertically and diagonally? The rather curious Eleventy1 J.R. Tolkien, in his timeless classic Lord of the Rings, said that the number 111 is a rather curious number and a very respectable age for a hobbit. The number 111 is a number that is pregnant with meaning, as we will see. Scott Onstett, in his blog www.secretsandplainsight.com, has made some wonderful correlations with the number 111. Scott has done an unparalleled job amassing many numerical, metrological and geodetic correlations, and I would highly recommend checking out his blog as well as his documentaries and book-taking measure for an in-depth look at the power of number. Scott made the astute observation that, counting the roofs, both the North and South World Trade Center towers had 111 floors. In the study of cymatics, the science of observing the geometric forms that arise when the vibrational frequency of sound is manipulated, the intervals between harmonic forms in the solfeggio scale focus roughly around the number 111 Hz. Examples: 852 to 741, 111, 639 to 528, 111. The solfeggio scale was the scale used in ancient Gregorian chants, such as the great hymn to St. John the Baptist. The Gregorian chants are quite uplifting, extremely beautiful, and can quickly put one into a deep meditative trance. This scale had been lost through the sands of time but was rediscovered by Dr. Joseph Pullio and Dr. Leonard Horowitz in their book Healing Codes for the Biological Apocalypse. The 6 solfeggio frequencies include at 396 Hz, liberating guilt and fear E 417 Hz, undoing situations and facilitating change Me 528 Hz, transformation and miracles FA 639 Hz, connecting relationships Soul 741 Hz, awakening intuition LA 852 Hz, returning to spiritual order. The third verse of Genesis, "And God said, Let there be light," is one of the most important verses in the entire Holy Bible. For this is the verse in which God unveiled himself to the world, manifesting itself into material creation. Prior to this verse, all of the potential of this creator force was merely archetypal possibility. It was only in this third verse where the essence of God came into being. And when it did, apparently it wished to construct itself with light, sound, and God said, and the magical reap digit 111. Though many consider God to be ineffable, intangible and indefinable, its essence may be understood through the properties of its being, which are omnipotent, omniscient and omnipresent. These 3 principles are stating, very clearly and concisely, that the holiness of God is in all things, in all time and in all space. God is everything and is indeed in you. Having intimacy with God is to intimately know oneself. Claudia Pavonis. God is neither distant nor distinct from you. Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. These 3 Os in omnipotent, omniscient and omnipresent unite to become one, reflecting the nature of deity and the triune principle. These 3 Os are also analogous to the 3 lines creating our very curious number 111. 3 lines merging as the Holy Trinity of one. What is God? He is length, width, height and depth. St. Bernard of Clairvaux wishes to inform us about this curious 111 as well. Using our cipher and adding up the 6 pieces composing the game of chess, pawn, rook, knight, bishop, queen, king, we find they sum to 111 as well. The game of chess actually encodes a lunar, solar and precessional calendar as well as multiple ways of obtaining the infinite, transcendental number of pi. I have a 22-minute video on this you can watch here. http www.youtube.com watch evsim1 type vu, and I also have an entire chapter on uncovering the calendars in my new book Pi the English Alphabet Volume 2. The 3 wise monkeys, sometimes called the 3 mystic apes, are a pictorial maxim. Together they embody the proverbial principle to see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. These 3 principles are quintessential to intuit in order to understand the influence that one's own perception on the world will have in the manifestation of one's own circumstances and fate. There is much to be said about our consciousness and the power that it wields. One's inner world, one's thoughts, feelings, desires and emotions are projected out only to be reflected back in. The Hermetic principle of as above, so below tells us that the far and the away, the up and the down, and the within and the without are but 2 aspects of one unified whole. Your inner world and your outer world affect each other and, ultimately, are one and the same thing. The responsibility we have as humans is to recognize that the state of our consciousness will determine how the world appears to us. If we see evil in the outside world, that evil will be reflected in. If we hear the voice of a devil inside us, those devilish thoughts will manifest itself, in some way or another, outside of us. When an inner situation is not made conscious, it appears outside as fate. Carl Gustav Jung. The devil is merely a weed growing free in the garden of your mind. Don't like the devil, tend to your garden. Claudia Pavonis. These 3 wise monkeys, with their closed ears, eyes and mouth, symbolizing their heightened consciousness, wish to inform us of the power of 111. In English, the 3 monkeys' names are often given as Mazaru, Makazaru, and Mizaru. These 3 names using our cipher sum to 57. Spirit and matter, using our cipher, also sums to 57. The merging of both spirit and matter, analogous to the inner and the outer, or the polarity of our existence, allows one to become one with the great omnipotent, omniscient and omnipresent deity. This merging of opposites is mythologized in alchemy and hermeticism with the alchemical marriage and the hermetic seal. Anytime a man and woman, or sun and moon, are expressed in literature, painting or architecture, this merging of the halves within the self, or the soul, is what is being spoken of. The three monkeys equaling the sum of both spirit and matter is a direct reference to the concept of reconciling opposites and becoming whole. This entire concept is expressed in the mathematics as well. Converting the number 57 from a base 10 system to a base 7 system finds us the number 111. The mathematical process of converting a number from a base 10 to a base 7 is shown below. If you would like to double-check this math yourself, and for a handy number base calculator, please visit here http://www.clevebooks.co.uk/calnumber.htm. Notice the three becoming one in both omnipotent, omniscient and omnipresent, as well as in the principle see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, a reflective of the Hindu and Christian trinities. The triune, or three becoming one principle, is one of the most important principles at play in the universe. Past, present and future converge onto the one eternal moment of time, the transcendent now that we all share with not only our fellow man, but also with the wise souls of our ancient brethren, whose influences are still with us. For the blessed benefit of us, our wise ancestors, who had mastered all crafts, language, mathematics, geometry, astronomy, astrology, etc., masterfully encoded their wisdom and guidance into song, dance, ritual, mythology, riddle and rhyme. And our world is absolutely teeming with these gifts, just begging for us to lift their veils and discover their true meanings. Our ancestors still live with us, their bloodlines are in ours, and so many of their deteriorating treasures remain, asking us to find the gold with ink gems available to whoever chooses to be so bold and seek them. Who has fully realized that history is not contained in thick books but lives in our very blood? Carl Jung. Have you ever noticed that nearly all of our ancient texts, especially those dealing specifically with the nature of the divine, are written as epic, allegorical poetry? The Mahabharata, Rig Veda, Holy Bible, Quran, Zohar, Book of the Dead, etc. were written in a mystical and poetic fashion, clothed in highly symbolic language, and were not crafted as a simple how-to guides or galactic textbooks on spirituality. Why would our ancestors choose to write and pass on knowledge in this poetic, mythological way? The answer is simple. The wise masters, the sages, the master alchemists, the ascendant ones, all recognize that life is poetry. The story of the universe can only be written in a creative, symbolic form, for this is the way in which the deity brought itself, and you, into existence. Your life is the story that you and the universe are crafting together. Right now, as I am banging away at this keyboard, you and the universal creator are carving out the path for the course of the rest of your life. It is the most epic game being played in the universe, and how much you wish to participate in the glory of your own story is entirely up to you. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, Mission Commander Swanbeck, Mission Impossible series. Universal construction is anything but the result of humdrum, scientific laws haphazardly and unintelligently carving out the material world with no blueprints or construction plans. The Creator is a master builder, a grand architect and a great geometer, and left the essence of its brilliant construction upon every facet of creation. Cosmic principles, created by the laws, rules and characteristics of number, are at work on every inanimate and animate object. These principles are there for our benefit, to make sense of our lives and to help us understand our place in the cosmic drama. The Grand Architect is speaking directly to us, but the language it is using is numerical and symbolic, and we only have to learn its language, to understand our own. In closing, using the English cipher, the number 23 has an enormous significance, and many important words and phrases share this: some, circle, temple, beauty, doctor, nurse, chosen, occult, Buddha, lotus, crack pie, etc. Most importantly though, heaven sums to 23. If we add the first 23 numbers of pi together, we find, yet again, our number 111. 3 1 4 1 5 9 2 6 5 3 5 8 9 7 9 3 2 3 8 4 6 2 6 1 1 1. Go ahead, find heaven yourself. Do the math. Thanks for your time and look forward to another article in the coming months. Copyright 2013 Marty Leeds, presented with permission of the author. Other articles by Marty Leeds greater than about the author. Greetings. My name is Marty Leeds and I am the author of 3 books, Pi, The Great Work, and Pi, The English Alphabet Volume 1-2, dealing with numerology, astrology, sacred geometry and gematria. I have an ongoing web series discussing many subjects that you can find at www.martyleeds33.com, as well as on YouTube martyleeds33. My intention and goal is to try to teach the basics of these subjects in a fun, easily digestible way so that anyone with an open mind and a yearning to understand the fundamentals of our universal construction may grasp them. Please visit my website and check out the books I have available for further study on these subjects. All the material on the web is presented for free, and I intend to post many more videos as time goes on. If you like what I am presenting, please pass it along to your friends and loved ones so they may enjoy it as well, and please support my efforts so I may bring more of my understanding of this material to you. My books are available via my website or Amazon.com. I am also a teacher at the website www.schooloftheholoscience.org, along with Johan Oldenkamp, Santos Bonacci, Bill Donahue and a growing list of others. Our aim at the school is to bring the wisdom and knowledge of our ancestors to the current age in an attempt to unearth and revive a true understanding of our cosmos, as well as to reaffirm our place in it. I hope these articles can help, in some small way, revive the wisdom of the old and help it flourish in the hearts and minds of seekers in our current era. Books by the author.